So I'm going to wing this conversation because I don't know exactly what you're talking about. Did you correlate being against illegal immigration, and be against the broad acceptance of homosexuality? Do I correlate illegal immigration, and acceptance of homosexuality to the unforgivable sin? Illegal immigration and the acceptance of homosexuality as the unforgivable sin. Where do you think that comes in to begin with? Where does it say anything about taking care of the stranger, or the lie that's been perpetrated by the Republicans, especially now, Democrats too, just depends on where your religion stations are at in your mind. The thing that was changed, what was that? Well, the 1800s, when the King James Version of the Bible come out. I mean, you can watch other videos to that I've posted to kind of get to that. So, but then you say, or am I misunderstanding? What videos have you been watching? So you're going to have to explain some of that if you want me to say more on this conversation. But I think I've answered your question. So now we're going to speak open, freely. Exaggerate the story a bit here. You should watch the video on hierarchy goes against God to get a broader conversation going here. Because it goes against God. Homosexuality, I've talked about this multiple times in other videos. It's a non-starter. There's no correlation. None. No correlation. There is only one unforgivable sin, and that is to deny the Holy Ghost. The Holy Ghost that lives inside of you, that is your guide. When you deny truth, you no longer see truth. You no longer see that you don't see truth. You just run around like a mop head. Or Fabio, or whatever the heck. Mop brains is more specific, because it's just dirty water. It's a non-starter. And I have a video in there about Jesus Christ was horizontal morality. He believed that people went through life on the same playing field, nobody above, nobody below. He spoke out against the church, who was structured vertical morality. The vertical morality church then become the Vatican. Well, actually, the flipping of the money-changing tables, the very title of my channel, is to the Romans, which then become the Vatican, which then become the United States government, which then become every Capitol building in the United States, 50 of them, which then become Congress. They're all of the same lineage. They're all the same. Now, there are new Congress members that may not know about the three purposes of Congress. Do you know about the three purposes of Congress? 1, handle domestic affairs. And within that, if we bring a problem, they're supposed to solve it. Homelessness, price gouging, unaffordability, food, housing, all that, homelessness. So they failed there. 2, Spread interest abroad. Now, that's an interesting one. So they're going to take taxpayers' money and not the rich people, because the rich will laugh and say, if you're paying taxes, you're not doing it right. So it's the middle class and the poor who pay the taxes. Okay. We're on the second one now. Spread interest abroad. For whom? For whom? Whom? What interests? Businesses, McDonald's, these chain stores. The already rich people, the ones who don't pay taxes. So we're opening up markets for the already rich people. And when these corporations gain access and open markets, do you get any of that money that you paid so that they could make more money? Okay. The third one, declare war. That's an interesting one too, because it's actually a consequence of the second one not being successful. If those markets can't be opened, declare war. And again, who pays for that? Not only with their lives, but the funding. See, because war is a wealth redistribution scam. It's all a scam. The three purposes of Congress is a scam. Now, I made videos before on many social media sites, but this scam, the Capitol, the government of the United States, the Vatican to the Roman soldiers, that Jesus spoke out against. He spoke out against this whole hierarchy thing. Because he knew, he's seen what some of us see now, the problems. That's why he spoke out against judges. Jesus spoke out against judges, spoke out against those who sit on the towers of the prison yards. He condemned them. The Spirit has left them. They no longer see truth. Your judges. The flipping of the money-changing tables is a master thesis conversation to be had. So the Romans, this isn't new. This is thousands of years before Jesus was born. In fact, 7,000 years ago from now, I can find the earliest chances where the 1%ers of the times were manipulating lots of things, 7,000 years ago, manipulating lots of things to see what they could get people to do. All kinds of things. 5,000 years ago was very widespread. And that's about when I declare a playbook. Handed down generation after generation for thousands and thousands of years. And this early manipulation of the people, religion in its earliest form, spirituality, and sports were used to achieve those manipulation goals. Jesus knew about this manipulation church. Now, there's a lot of great things that the church did. And it spoke about a lot of great things. It understood epigenetics and psychology and sciences and things like that to some degree. And in some broader degrees, the sociology of it. It's a manipulation game. Now, I'm going to break all this down, and it's going in a series of 6 books. I've been working on this for 34 years. I've literally dedicated my whole life to it. I know since I was 8 years old, I was seeing the world and just a very different kid. It's going to go in a series of books. As I release the books, I've got 5 years of information release as it is. These YouTube channels, I've got many YouTube channels. each with a very specific piece. This is my train wreck one. This is my train wreck, dear diary. This is what's going on in my life. And this is my journey to my personal journey, my personal journey in life. And having these conversations, which I'm going to have a lot more of. And they're not going to be easy ones. I'll get better at how I speak and give you what you want. But for now, this is what we're doing. What should I say? This mind control is pretty deep. And I'm only a couple years into starting to unravel kind of how this has been going. And that's without going to libraries or trying to find top researchers and sort of kind of get some different scope. Especially in Europe, there is a different side, a side that I stand on is broader than I see. I have created a social media site to get me all the answers in the world that I need, as well to everyone else. Just so we're clear, I've spent 16,000 hours designing a social media site to change the world, and not one person will not be touched. I will touch every single life in the world for the better. Dedicated my life to it. Pretty proud of what I've done. And what I have done is probably something nobody in the world has ever. There's a lot of things I'm going to keep quiet because I must. I have the advantage of being easily discredited and sort of, but that line is blurring, probably faster than I would like, but the time is now. I'm here, I put myself out, and I'm on the list of people that watch. I'm on those lists. I'm not getting off of them. So I'm not worried about anything getting any more difficult for me. I guess to some degree. I know that I see a little bit of fuzz or something in my beard here. You need to open your mind. And there is a lot of things wrong. And I would suggest watching some of my videos. I would. The more recent ones, particularly the one on Doctrine of Discovery that's about 50 minutes long. That one's down there a little bit. That's the one that's like a black picture with a little Native American in the corner. I highly suggest you watch that one. That's not an easy one. And I would watch the whole thing. You know, allow yourself that time. And I think once you begin to watch it, I think it'll hold your attention. I mean, it may get a little bit, repetitive, but listen carefully. The reason why there's a same story being told, it seems, by another person is to sort of give you an idea of how it affects differently, how it's applied differently, because it's a big problem. I've challenged AI technology as I'm got a little bit more familiar with that in the last couple of weeks to my 34 years of work, and I'm on the right track. I'm doing the right thing, which, I mean, I've devoted my life to this 34 years. So I would be sort of embarrassed if AI would have said, well, you got that wrong. So I believe that I can connect people who have decided I'm an atheist or this or that. I believe that I can connect them more to the story of Jesus. Not now, but by the end of the year. Got a lot of stuff going on. I have to, sew this together. I have a hat that I'm going to make. I have a prayer shawl that I have to make. Shoes. A podium. That podium also is going to double for my political YouTube channel. This is for the religious one. I have created a new religion out of a need. It's a non-denominational. We can easily call it the Gatekeeper. What else? I mean, this is 16 minutes long and you're probably already bored and probably still not watching, but I'm going to just close it here and see where this goes. This is my starting place.